If I were to tell you that this is a beginner-friendly tutorial, would you believe that? Let me walk you through this step by step, and if that's something that interests you, you might want to stick around. What's up everyone, this is Priya here. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if this is the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Here I share tips, ideas and inspiration to make your planner and journal spreads pretty and functional. I have some sticker books out, and this is the A5 journal. This is another beginner friendly Dutch door setup I did. And this is my research and development planner journal. And this is a very basic, again, of 15 pro tips that I shared about getting started with Dutch doors. So this would be like a full playlist of all the basic steps you will need to be careful about if you want to get started with Dutch doors. So let's get started, and before that I'm putting a couple of sticker books underneath the journal so that it can have some stability. And I just picked something that I thought would work, and I'm not sure what is available in stock, but if you are keen on getting this exact sticker book, I'm sure Happy Planner or some of the D-Stash groups on Facebook should have it. And as you can see, there's a lot of stickers untouched, so I thought I should just use my stash. And I have some good ideas for you to check out. Before any project, I think you should take your time to flip through the pages and make sure there are enough components in there to work with, because otherwise you'll get stuck midway and you may even have to restart if you are not confident with the way it is going. So just be mindful of certain shapes. The circles are one of the easiest ones you can work with, and you need to pick elements which, when stuck together, should be kind of similar. So the orientation should be the opposite, ideally, or you should have some way of working with similar components to fill in the gap. So can you see that? These strips will work great, and the flowers are pointing to either side. So those are the things that you should be looking out for. And the Snow White is definitely there, and I may even sprinkle in some of these villains, because again, because of the holographic effect, it may not look great on camera, but I think I should again use my stash. And this was a very popular sticker book. It came out in multiple releases or multiple restocks, because the villains, I was surprised that there were a lot of fans for the villains. So let's put the villains aside for now, and let's get started with our Snow White. And the dwarves are definitely there. And as you can see, this is a big sticker pack, as in it is sized for the big Happy Planner. But don't overthink it. Any size planner will work for any sized journal. And I'm just taking the time to make sure I have enough supplies to get started. And I think I will start with the Snow White standing up, and you will need the usual tools I suggest, including the gyro cut, the scissors, the tweezers, and a self-healing cutting mat. And I do have a lot of discount codes for a lot of shops that you see products from, and I'll have all that information in the description for you. And I'll also have the exact names of the sticker books and the other products. And I'm not speeding this up, so this is real time. So as you can see, I'm taking the time to make sure I have all the correct timing for you, because some people do reach out saying they need the process a bit more slowed down. So I'm reaching for my stash of washi tapes, and these were boxes that came from Live Love Posh. So every color had a full set for itself. So I think the blue and the red, as you can imagine, are the classic color combinations for Snow White. That's usually what is seen from her gown and her dress and the cape that she has around her neck. So I'm picking a few of the patterns from both these colorways, and as you can see, I have the stripes, I have the gingham, I have the wider stripes, and just putting that away. And I will have the exact names, and my code Priya10 can be used for 10% off at Live Love Posh, where my journal is also from, the A5 journal. And yeah, let's pick the slimmer of the striped one as well, because the slimmer ones are perfect for bringing in pops of color without taking up too much of the writing space. Can you see that? And this is, yeah, I think I will just have it centered on her. I do not want it to be leaning on to either way. And if you are somebody who likes wider washi tapes, by all means go ahead. And this would be a very simple way of bringing in the Dutch doors and trim off the washies. And make sure you have the ribbons or the bookmarks for the journals away from the path of the scissors, because it has happened to me, and you would be very sad when accidentally that just cuts off. So now let's get to our Dutch door. And can you see how easy the Dutch door process can be? And just make sure that you have the Dutch door or the self-healing cutting mat right underneath the page. And this is an A5 self-healing cutting mat again, so it was not a problem with the sizing. And this is where I would like to share some other tools you could use. So that is again another X-Acto knife, and this is the current one I'm using is an older gyro cut, and the orange one you see is the Gyro Cut Pro, and that's the tool I love to use for the Dutch doors. And this is an older one, so the blade is slightly blunt, so I prefer to use it for trimming the washi from over the stickers, because the Gyro Cut Pro is a comparatively newer one, and it is fairly sharp, so I do not want to damage the stickers or the pages underneath, because I'm heavy-handed. So if you are heavy-handed like me, just pick something with a slightly blunt knife, or go with something as what you have, but go a bit light-handed on that. And you can see how I'm bringing in the scissors to trim off the straight edges, and that's the easiest way of doing it. Just make sure it is cut all the way through, and that's the basic Dutch door you have. And if you are somebody who is keen on getting started with Dutch doors, I have a very beginner friendly tutorial on how you can get started. I show you how exactly the blade works, because it does have a swivel to it. And let's work on the other side of the page, and you can use a smaller sticker, but I'll show you how you can fill some of that gap, because we don't have the exact same sticker, you see. So that way there are always these florals you can bring in, but I did not want more than one Snow White on each page. And some of these florals are just perfect, so just look for matching shapes. And it was not a big deal at all, even if it's not the exact same measurement. I don't think it is that much of an issue, and I am really not happy with the washi tape sticking up like so. So let's just trim that. And I think that's better. Snow White can stand there very peacefully. So there is our next Dutch door. And I think I'll just repeat that same washi because that's what I normally like to do, as it just takes off a lot of thinking away from my plate. And just remember to kind of secure the page if you need to. And these paper clips are so handy for such instances. And I think I'll just start working from the top of the page. And I would rather have it hold it like so because I need the edges of the pages to make sure I have it snug across the end of that Dutch door. And we will use the blue and red again. And it is sad wasting such pretty washi. So what I'm going to do is I will be trimming it at the top. As you can see, just taking my time to make sure I have that stuck to the page properly in a straight line. And now I'll go ahead and again, always have the self-healing cutting mat underneath anything that you're cutting, because you never know how much pressure you may accidentally add. And you do not want to have cuts on spaces that you really don't intend for it to have. So there goes our paper clip, just holding the page in place. And let me know if you have tried something like this before. And let me know if you have the sticker book. And this is, again, I have been asked for such a tutorial for so long, and I'm finally here with my tips. And there are more coming. And I get asked quite frequently from my members on very basic ones sometimes, because you just want to have a very simple sticker book and then you're all done before you know, because I'm taking away all the thinking from you and I show you exactly what to do. So I get asked about that all the time. And if you are keen on finding out how you can have a say on my channel, or help me choose themes or sticker books, then please check out the membership options that I have available. And it's a closer community of amazing folks, and they do help me through a lot of confusions. And let's see, let's now get to the next Dutch door, and the next tip would be to do some layering. You know what I mean? So I will get to the dwarfs, but I think we need some more floral presence towards the bottom part of the page, as the Snow White is just standing there at the top. And I think, again, can you see where I'm placing the next element? Because I don't want a lot of the beauty to be cut off. So I'm going to just place it like so, just coming off the page so that we can actually see it. And the Snow White can also stand on something and not just float mid-air like a ghost. And I will be keeping this washi kind of a bit hidden because I don't want the blue to be overpowering everything. So that will go just underneath that page we first cut. And this will be, yeah, maybe a bit more repositioning, but again, this is as easy as this. You just line it up. Can you see it is just completely hidden? And you have this Dutch door pretty much all completed. And we will go ahead and add or take away the washi tape rather. And let me know what your favorite cutting tool would be, other than the scissors, of course, which the scissors obviously come in handy for all of us in every possible scenario. And I have linked all the products again, as I mentioned, and I do have my Amazon storefront also with exact classification and exact categories for my favorite tools, my journals, and all the useful stuff like the pens, and be it the fountain pens, the gel pens, the other highlighters, the zebra eyeliners, or the Zig Clean color dots, or anything of that sort. And if you are into printable stickers, I do have lots of shops I love to shop from, and they are on Etsy mostly, or it could be some other platforms like the Creative Fabrica and such, where I occasionally go to as well. And if you would like to pick up anything from Creative Fabrica, I do have a link for you in the description. And for the printable stickers, I know a lot of people are on the fence about getting them, but trust me, that's a game changer if you are into last minute decisions on picking themes and you realize you don't have very many printable stickers, then, or stickers in hand rather, then printable stickers are your best friend. And this is going to be the next Dutch door all completed, as you can see. And you can mix and match the washi tapes from the stash that you have already picked. And for the most part, I like to keep the washi tapes uniform between the front and the back pages, but occasionally I do use this because why not, you know? And sorry, I interrupted myself. I do have tutorials on how you can use the print and cut feature, and I have the tutorial linked. And I also have my sticker paper recommendations for all of those folks who are not happy with their sticker papers. I have paper mat, clear mat, and removable mat, which is a whole new game changer. And this is going to be the next Dutch door. And you see how simple that was. So 2 of the 4 Dutch doors done. And let's add more layers. And I would definitely love to bring in the dwarfs, but maybe some more of the floral presence, because for the dwarfs to come in, for the idea I have in mind, I need some more uniformity in the length or the edge of the page. So I think I'll go ahead and trim off some of that washi, because just do that right away, because otherwise you may forget to do the trimming and it will look quite weird with all the bits and pieces of the washi sticking out. Or you can just do it all in the end, that's also fine. And I think I will get to I almost went and picked this guy up, but again, yeah, this is when I realized I need something a bit more filled up, or I need to work my way up until the level of the circle box at the bottom. And again, take your time. This is going to be a very satisfying end result for you if you follow along. And let's bring in this floral box, this decorative box with a quote in it. And I think that'll do, because we have the space until the end of the circle box at the bottom covered. And now we can see how I'm going to bring in some of the other elements to cover that space at the bottom. I could have just added the washi tape and just called it a day. So this black and white one is from a different shop called the Washi Tape Shop. And the discount codes are also in the description. And this is something you can bring in to balance all the colors you have going on, especially with such bright colors happening throughout the spread. I think bringing in a bit of black and white just balances everything. And this is where we have to pick some filler elements. And the filler elements will definitely come in from these guys. And I think we'll pick a slightly smaller one for, I think that white space needed to be filled. So that is where it goes. And we need the longer one for the other side. Yeah, that's fine. You can leave it as is, but I think some more colors on that side makes more sense. Even if it is just a peek through from the front. Or you know what, I think we can save it. And this will be the next. Perfect, right? Can you see that? Yeah, if you look closely, you will find elements that will work great for your spreads. If you ask me, just be patient, just look for the components very peacefully, very carefully, and then you will have all the elements you want. And let me just move the washi tapes to this trinket holder because it is just running all over the place. I was trying to avoid this step, but that's fine. And if you like to see my stash, if you would like to check out my craft space, my stash is growing. I can guarantee that. I do have a full craft room tour that I have linked, where you can see what my space looks like. And this is the simple way of cutting through that page. Can you spot that? How easy was that? So that is Dutch door number 3 all done. We will now get to the page on the back. Again, you can skip the back page in its entirety, but I like to see that beautiful side even when I turn the page. So that is where this comes in handy. Maybe we should just flip it onto the other side, or you know what? No, I think I should just go ahead and put the page secure with the paper clip. And that lady arm paper clip is from Journal Say as well. And let's straighten that sticker, shall we? Because you don't want air bubbles or wrinkles on the sticker. Because in any point in the future you try and lift it, it just wouldn't be nice on the paper. So let's use this quote right there. And this will be where we will need to go all the way to the top, and I think that in itself is pretty. And I'm not going to do the washi tape, the black and white washi tape, but I will definitely come back and straighten the sticker out because it was kind of wonky. And the dotted lines definitely help with that if you are not in a hurry. It's really coming together beautifully. What do you think? And if you like to see such creative ideas for your planners or journals, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and you turn on the bell notification as well, so that you can be sure you do not miss out on any of the future videos coming. And now let's get to the fun part. Let's get to the dwarfs. And I'm roughly placing the circle stickers. As you can see, we have a page full of that. So why not use some of them? And these circle stickers are just the perfect way of doing an easy Dutch door. So I'm going to bring in all the dwarfs in that order. And as you can see, I'm creating that zigzag kind of pattern, just making sure that I can read the names of all the dwarfs from the front. And I may have to reposition it because we have only 7 dwarfs and we are almost only until the halfway through the page. So I will come and do the placement a bit more spaced out, if that makes sense. So let's start from maybe the bottom now, Yeah, we're done, and I would rather have them all the way until the bottom. So let's start spacing them out, and you can still do that if you decide to do quickly without doing any damage to any of the stickers. And just leave maybe a line in between and just try and space it out a bit more. And then when you get to the top, you will realize that you need a bit more. Yeah, it needs to be a bit more uniform and a bit more spaced out than this. Do not be afraid to play around with this. And if you are not comfortable, or if you really don't trust yourself with ripping these stickers, again, even if you rip, it's not the end of the world. There are always other stickers you can use instead of that. But even if you rip, I think you can still rescue most of the stickers most of the time. So just be careful not to press down the stickers entirely. You know what I mean? I think I'll need to bring in some floral component to highlight the middle part, or just so that I'll have some space used up right in the middle there. And I think one of these smaller clusters will do. So let's figure out. Should we bring in a coat? I almost went for it, and I did some sticker surgery there, because the Snow White, because if she had to be fully visible from the front, that circle shape I was hoping to the circle shaped edges that I was hoping to achieve would have to be compromised. So sorry. Yeah, let's just stick it down here for now. And I think I will go with one of these florals. I think some of these smaller bunches would be perfect. Yeah, I think I'll just bring that in. And always pick for contrasting colors right next to each other. You don't understand what I mean, right? Watch. So you place elements or colors which are slightly contrasting right next to each other. So for the bashful, I have a pink backdrop so that both the colors can actually pop a bit more. And this is going to be our final Dutch door. And you see how easy that was. Are you more confident watching me do this, or are you working alongside? Are you setting your own Dutch doors up while you're watching, or are you just going to dive right after you're done watching this? Let me know in the comments. And you can see how I'm doing that curvy kind of motion in between those circle shapes so that it gets a bit more of a softer touch, not like sharp edge. So that is going to be our last Dutch door. And let's pick the sticker for the back page, that floral element, before we put down all our dwarfs all over again. And I think I'll just have the orientation this way and we'll get started. So now I think we can start from the top and go all the way to the bottom. So there we are with our Dutch doors all completed. And now let's get to the very last page and the very first page. And we will start with some of our floral clusters, or the flowers, the bright pop that's needed right next to the dwarfs. So I think we'll just start with this longer one. And yeah, I think right next to, again, going with the same principle of a contrasting color, right next to Grumpy, I think that was just that one sticker was what we needed. And we'll also bring in this cluster there, or maybe I think I'll just move it to the corner so that that continuity can be right there. And you see, just one or two stickers, that's all you need to just kind of make it feel fuller. Can you see that? And we'll now use those smaller flowers scattered across the remaining white space, and especially against those circle stickers, the dwarf stickers. And I think just some small pops of color are all they need. And maybe like so. Yeah, just pretending to be part of the other cluster, or coming off like so. Just finishing off that particular cluster and the white space right there. So that part is done and dusted. So now let's see, let's bring in what else we will need. As for me, I personally like to use the boxes that come with the same collection if there are any. And there are, as you can see, the decorative boxes with the quotes on them, or just plain boxes with some decorations on them. And before that, I think I will need to bring in this particular Snow White, because I don't want the same angle to be used in more than one space. So I think she will come and sit down very comfortably at the bottom right there, and yeah, her shoes can be right there, and she can still be visible from all the other pages that we did. So the dwarfs can go right next to her when you turn the page over. And let us see, maybe it is time to bring in a villain, just a basic presence is all I want. And I think I will just go for that old witch with the apple in hand, because I did not bring in the apple in any other form, if you noticed. And I think I will also bring in one quote in the holographic sticker, maybe to kind of, yeah, let's see. This is how I like to layer this page. And when you turn the page, yeah, that she should be a bit away from the witch, but I think she can definitely stay at that distance, and I think that coat will go there perfectly. And I think the holographic touch is enough, because it is just too much glare. If it is giving you some pain in the eye when you look at it, I'm sorry. I just wanted to sprinkle in some of that touch, but I did not want it to overpower. But I'll be very careful when I get the final pictures for you. And let's see, I think, yeah, this can be brought in like so. And I will also try and throw in some of those flowers just at the edge so that it looks kind of cohesive, you know what I mean? And there are various ways of combining the components. You can use the decorative stickers. I've done all sorts of videos where I shared very beginner friendly tips for you to incorporate. You can get inspired from. So this is going to be the next one of those. And as you can see, there is a lot of stickers remaining, and these florals are definitely so bright, so catchy. And if bright colors are not your jam, pick sticker books in your favorite colors or themes. Like, I know some people are into the neutral shades and the neutral colorway. By all means, pick something that you love, because if you love the sticker book, then I think no matter what you do, you will end up with a really pretty set of pages, and you will want to use them no matter what. Because it is something that you should ask yourself, whether I personally think that I tend to use the pages more if I have them all stickered up, all pretty with nice bright colors. And I'm not a fan of neutral colors. So if you are one of them, by all means pick such stickers or themes that is appealing to you. And now let's get to one of the decorative boxes, and I think we'll just finish off that circle floral box, and I think, yeah, I think that is perfect. Let's see. And placement is key, so I think that, yeah, I think that's good. And for the boxes, we'll start placing them in the inside pages. And this sticker book has lots of these functional boxes also, as it is sized for the big happy planner. The sizes are also big. And I think some of the boxes are so pretty, and clusters are what I love to bring in. So I think I will go ahead and maybe, I think I'll represent one dwarf in the front. And is it the, I think it was a sleepy, but I think the happy is who needs a bit more representation. Yeah, I think I'll just switch out the dwarf, and maybe I'll just place him somewhere else. Yeah, there's no harm in doing that, right? Or should we just put him back? Maybe, right? Yeah, there are so many of these amazing boxes that you can see. I don't end up using a whole lot of them, but I think I will pick a few from here. And since these are big stickers, I think just one box and maybe a plain box is enough clustering to do. And I will definitely come and add a couple more boxes, and this will be kind of where we finish off the spread. And you can see how I'm bringing in all the different floral elements to complement. And some of the pages don't have a whole lot of floral presence, so that's where I'm bringing in or throwing in some of the additional flowers and these boxes with floral decorations on them. And I'm also trying to make sure the dwarves have a place to stand. And this space has more writing space, so I think we'll bring in one big box. And some of these bigger boxes are perfect for that. And this space does not have a Snow White, so why not bring her in, right? And it is not visible from the front, so it does not really affect the aesthetics of the whole spread. And I like to make sure I don't have two Snow Whites in the same page, especially when it comes to characters like these. You don't have to have a whole lot of presence too, because one I think will be enough. And I think I will just go ahead and place it like so. And going ahead and completing the boxes. And you can skip this part entirely if you are not into boxes, if you would rather have a few mile-liner lines here and there. And that's the other idea a lot of people use. It brings in that pop of color, but also make sure that there is no actual space aligned for certain things or assigned for certain things. So that is totally up to you. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up and share this with anybody who you think will find this useful. And don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell notification and all that useful stuff that you normally like to do. And please come follow me on Instagram. I do share more spreads and more sneaks, even if they don't quite get YouTube videos. And hope you check out the other videos I mentioned, and all the products I used are linked for you. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.